Welcome back, Soulful Society, to Soulful of Wellness,
the multi-generational podcast brought to you by two functional imperfectionists
and certified coaches
who deliver tips to help you live your most authentic, balanced, and anxiety-free life. Many people set New Year's resolutions. It's not so much our thing here at Soulful of Wellness to start something new just because it's January 1st, but if that works for you, you should totally go for it. What we prefer to do is to set intentions and goals as organically and authentically as possible, which means goals are generally unrelated to the date on the calendar. But no matter when you commit to change for yourself, a great tool to boost your success is tapping into your intuition.
Using your intuition helps you decide what's right for you, what's realistic, and guides you to achievable goal setting so that you can actually be successful and, bonus, build confidence in yourself. In today's episode, we'll share a bit about what we're working on right now and, of course, give you a couple fun coaching tools to help you tap into your intuition. Thank you for joining us for yet another week of wellness goodness. Happy New Year, Soulful Society.
Happy 2023. Thanks for being with us.
If you're new here, welcome. If you like this episode, please share it with a friend that you think might be interested.
If you haven't done so yet, please follow, rate, and review Soulful of Wellness. Apparently, that does a lot for the algorithm that helps promote the podcast and help other listeners be able to find us.
I didn't think much of the new year at all.
I'm with you.
I kind of just thought, January 1 it's just another day, right? Like, it's another day on earth that we wake up. And honestly, I felt like that just alleviates pressure for me personally right now. I just haven't felt called to setting a goal. I haven't made a vision board. I haven't even set intentions. I've certainly not goal set. And I just wanted to share that in case that resonates with someone listening, that it's okay to not look forward, not look at the year in advance. I actually wouldn't recommend that at all. I mean, it's too big, it's too lofty, of a picture to think 2023 as a whole. And as we've talked about in years past, and we've got episodes on this, check out last year's and 2020's around this time on how to actually set goals that are sustainable for you when you're ready to set a goal.
I feel like there are years where looking at a year as a snapshot for planning purposes, even reflectively looking back at the year, there have been years where that didn't seem in any way daunting. That seemed like a completely reasonable chunk of time. This year isn't one of them.
It's funny that we're both on the same page.
Well, imagine that. The new year in some ways kind of snuck up on me in a really good way where I was like, oh crap, it's New Year's Eve. Oh, I have no plans. I'm very happy right now. That was literally like my New Year's Eve thought process, y'all.
I feel like if January was a person, it would be like this high pressured, like, gotta get it all done, gotta do this, gotta better myself, like super, super rushed energy. But honestly, it feels so freeing to me to just not think of it in that way, to just take things one day at a time. For me personally, it takes away the pressure, and that's exactly what I need right now.
If January was a person, January showed up at our prearranged scheduled date on time and knocked on my door, and I went, wait, you're not supposed to be here until the oh, crap. Let me go get dressed.
January shows up with a green smoothie and an avocado toast.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh.
Looking forward to this for so long.
Yeah.
I'm like, me too. It's not a reflection of how I feel about you. It's a reflection of I have no idea what day it is.
What is going on?
But here we are.
Here we are. And I think that speaks to the topic of today. Following your intuition is essentially tapping into your higher self, tapping into your deeper desires, and also your authenticity. Like being able to truly live soulfully, living in a way that works for you right now.
That works for me, not overthinking, not micromanaging. So it's a very rare occurrence that I can get myself into this exact predicament. So that's kind of why I'm laughing about how I'm unprepared, because it's refreshing for me to find myself in this situation. And I'm really enjoying it, honestly, because to me, this is following my intuition.
Right.
Letting my life unfold.
Yeah. I feel that so deeply. Like the energetics of letting life unfold is the same of surrender. And the opposite of that, which we talk about a lot when we talk about healing perfectionism and that journey, holding on tight, feeling afraid, trying to control, trying to be too rigid or too tense. And I think that's the beauty in letting go and surrendering, is kind of understanding I'm going to meet myself where I'm at right now, and goal setting just isn't it right now. We're just not putting that pressure on ourselves to be so rigid or logical or, formulate specific goals right now, because it's not coming up for us. And that's what we're going to get into about intuition, is how can we authentically move in the right direction, design our vision for ourselves, which we know is the first step, become aware of what are my current habits, what's working for me, what's not, and then be able to set the authentic goals that are ultimately going to lead us to success because they resonate deeply within us.
Yes, and are going in the direction we consciously want to be going with intentionality. And I just know winter, like January 1st, is not the right time for me to take on something new, to start a new project, to start a new path of goals. It's just, it could work. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but I'm not making the best choices for my chances of success by starting anything smack dab in the middle of winter. Not my best time.
So if you're checking in with yourself, and maybe you're like Kit and I, where you're feeling like it's not the right time to set goals, maybe you are feeling that spark, that motivation, that desire, like I'm ready. I've really thought about where I'm at now. I've designed my vision for where I want to go, and now I want to set those goals. In order to set yourself up for success, are these goals authentic to me? Or are these goals motivated by fear? Do I want to lose weight because I'm fearful of being overweight? Do I want to get that promotion because I'm scared of not having enough money? Whatever it may be, fear could be motivating your goal, which in some cases, albeit rare, fear is a fine motivator, and it really helps us. But most of the time, it's keeping you in that lack mindset, and it's not really allowing you to live your life to the fullest in the most authentic format.
I totally agree that, like everything else, fear has its time and its place. Not usually long-term goals and taking you on the path you want. Fear is more get you moving in the moment because you need to move or danger will strike. It's more of an immediate now or never, get moving, not a well-constructed, thought out with intentionality route. That's where intuition, God love when intuition speaks loud enough for me to hear it. Because I always think like, I wish intuition would speak up more or speak up louder or just be present more. And the more I reflect on it, the more I realize it's not intuition. It's me not paying attention. not listening, not making the space to tune into it. It's there. I need to access it.
We learned this in coaching and definitely want to share this nugget with you. All of the answers in life are within you.
Yep.
And it's something that's a little bit crazy to hear, but it's profound. And once you realize that the answers are within you, then you can really start to build that juicy relationship with yourself, building that self-trust, which dissolves the ego, dissolves a self-critic. Not 100% of the time, we're human, right? But tapping into your intuition really allows you to be able to make decisions that are for your highest good. You know, we often look outside for answers and we ask people for their opinions and questions and what do you think about this and should I make that move? And while it's good to bounce ideas off of our loved ones and our therapists and coaches, ultimately, the person who knows what's best for you is you. And like you said, Kit, we just have to clear away the noise so that we can hear the answers. And so that's also a hidden nugget of your coach is actually trained to ask you the right questions to bring out the answers from within you. So although we'll offer you observations, really, you're the master. You have the key and we're just helping you guide your way to unlock it. And so that's what's so beautiful about intuition is it allows you access to your higher self and all the answers you need.
Intuition also leaves room for flexibility. And regular listeners know that another issue of mine that I'm ever working on is rigidity. And once I make a commitment or make a promise or make up my mind about something, I have difficulty staying flexible and still thinking that I'm being successful in it because I've now defined success one way and it's hard for me to keep that flexibility. But I find when I tap into my intuition, when I can follow the messages that are softly but very clearly coming from within me, telling me the right direction to go, I'm able to still live in the moment and still be on the path, but be flexible and realize that I'm still overall successful, even if I'm not successful every single minute.
It puts you in a flow state.
And it's so helpful. And it makes life so much easier.
It really does. It's like a cheat code to life. You know, like the law of attraction, the law of abundance, the law of manifestation. Well, the intuition law, I don't know, I just made that up, but intuition.
The law of intuition. I love it.
The law of intuition. It's a cheat code. And it softens you a little bit and opens you up and allows you to flow with life a lot easier instead of that rigidity that you're talking about.
And you just feel it from inside. So you're not trying to sell yourself on something. You're like, yeah, you know what? You're right. That's exactly who I am.
The best way that I can describe intuition when trying to discern those voices in your head, we all have them. Intuition whispers. It's quiet. It's a little nudge. It's a little vibe.
It will never scream at you. Never. That's not intuition. That's the gremlin who is the alter ego of intuition masquerading.
Which is ruled by fear. So fear is going to be loud. Fear is going to be what if worries. What if it goes wrong? What if I don't get the job? What if they reject me? Ruminating and worrying and thinking and coming up with different, ideas or solutions or different ways that things could go wrong. It's just very convoluted. It's loud. Here's how you can discern the difference between fear and intuition. When fear shows up, it tends to feel like pushing energy. I know, Kit, you've talked about this before in the pod. I love your push-pull theory. And this is where fear comes into play. It's as if you want to avoid feeling something uncomfortable, avoid disappointment, disapproval. And your motivation is to avoid a feeling that's undesired. within your body, you can also tap into that emotion to be able to discern, what is this? Like, what is this trying to tell me? Fear feels frenetic.
Yes. And frantic, very busy, must keep going, like Energizer Bunny, here, 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 here.
Intuition, on the other hand, is more of a light pull. You're being drawn to something towards your best interests, even if it requires you to take a risk. If you want to tap into your body to figure out, is this intuition, it tends to feel calm, an inner knowing. Like you're not even sure why you feel this way, and you don't have to know why. You just have this inner knowing. It's relaxed and trusting.
Like sometimes I won't even know words. Like I'll say, like, I don't know words that I can convey why this is or why this makes sense, but I trust myself, and you're going to have to trust me that this just is the right thing right now. Because I can't explain it using words. I just know it in my bones.
That's what cultivates self-trust. When you learn, how do I discern my intuition from fear or from any other emotion, and you start to tap in and take action with it and trust it, oh baby, it starts to lead you even more. And to our female listeners, girl, you have a superpower. Tap into it, try it, play with it. It's going to be quiet and calm and sort of pull you, and you might doubt it, right? And look for that. You might say, oh, no. I don't know. And you might doubt yourself because you've been conditioned to by society in the way we behave, in the way we're taught to by society that we should look, the way we should make ourselves smaller. And we don't even realize we're doing these things. And so intuition is also this sense of expansiveness. And the more you trust it and lean into it and go with it, the more it shows you. It's pretty cool.
And it's solid. It's not wispy. It's not wishy-washy. It's not going to get blown. It's not a physical presence, which I don't know how. See, this is one of those things. I can't put it into words. How is it solid but also not a physical presence? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm just telling you what it feels like when I let it be heard. And it is the most freeing feeling to just feel so confident in my choice. And it's so unlike me to say, I can't explain it, but I know it's right. Because usually that's a sign to myself, well, if I can't explain it, then I obviously haven't given it enough thought. I need to break it down and analyze it and look at it from the other side. And like, no, I don't. When I can know and just have that security and confidence of knowing that it's the right thing and it doesn't need words to make it right because it already is right, it's such a freeing feeling for me.
Definitely. I would say that really resonates. And in my experience, the more you tap in, the more you practice, the stronger it gets. Like the more you can hear it. And it's so fun to play with it too.
It's like you learn really the frequency or something.
You tap into the cheat code and you go, that one. Pick that one. Do this one. Turn left. Whatever.
If I get really good someday, I hope that I can find it when I need it. I'm not that good yet. I'm still at I have to wait and make the space and let it find me. But I'm hoping that with more practice and more building of trust back and forth, that I'll get to the point where I can go out and find it when I need it.
Once you're able to cultivate even a little bit of intuition, then you can start to tap into what feels good and asking yourself the questions around the goals you're setting. Why do I even want to set this goal? Does this feel easy? Do I feel in flow? Does this make sense for me at my core? Or am I trying to emulate someone else? Am I trying to copy someone? Do I feel logically like this is the best step for me?
Which sounds like you want the answer to be yes, because like my brain hears logical and it's like, oh, logical equals good. But it doesn't have to be logical to be right.
Yeah.
Yes, I said that.
Yes, kid. Who are you?
Who am I?
Amazing.
All right. Should we give them our cool little exercise for tapping into your intuition when you have a specific choice to make, like one of those bigger
let's
deal
do it.
choices? Okay. Couple steps here. Step 1, grab a piece of paper and a pen. Step 2, write down a specific question you're struggling with. So this isn't like, what should I have for dinner type question. This is more like, is taking on more responsibility at work going to make me happy? Then under that, this is like old school, middle school note passing. You write a yes and you write a no. And then put the pen down on the paper, walk away, go do whatever you were going to do. And the next time you happen by, and if you're like me, go, what is this piece of paper doing out on the table? Oh, right, my question. You read the question and you have 2 to 3 seconds, circle yes, circle no, and walk away again.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? Look back at that paper. You see your question. You circled an answer. What does that do inside your body?
Right. I love that. Bonus step. Tune into your body. What are you feeling? What are you noticing? That's also where you can receive a lot of information. The body's constantly talking to us.
Yeah. It could be so many different things that we can't even list them here, but you might say, I feel disappointment that my answer's no. I was hoping I really wanted this. I wanted to want this. You know that feeling? You want to want something, but something in you's telling you you don't actually want it. Like, I want more responsibility. And then you look at the paper and you circled, no, that's not going to make me happy. And you're like, God, I'm sad. I wanted to want that for
There's your
myself.
answer.
Well, guess what? Your intuition just told you you didn't actually want that for yourself.
And conversely, if you were like, yes, I was hoping it would be this. There's your sign.
Yeah.
So we hope you learned a thing or two on how to tap into your intuition, how to discern fear from intuition, so that you can set the right goals for yourself that ultimately is going to lead to your wellness.
Thanks for joining us for another week. We love having you with us. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who you think might like learning a little activity to tap into intuition. And we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Mwah! Happy New Year. Peace, love, and light.
Peace, love, and light.
The Soulful of Wellness hosts are certified health and wellness coaches. This podcast is intended to inform and entertain listeners on their wellness journey. This podcast is meant to enhance, not replace, listeners' care from doctors, therapists, or other medical providers.